Hi everybody. This is a recording of what we are doing for our open days. If you've missed it, well, we're sorry we didn't see you, but we'll catch up with you soon. And if you were here, this is just a refresher of some of the slides that we went through. So what we'll do is I'll share my screen in a moment and just run through and voice over the slides that we showed. This will go out to people who attended with some additional FAQs, and then we'll follow up with an application and enrolment and an interview. Thanks very much. I'm going to share my screen now. So I'm really hoping you can see that. And that really the reason we've created Gateway Community High, this is a project I've been working on for almost 3 years. And what we want out of Gateway Community High for you, our new students, is this is a place where you feel you can achieve, where you can belong, and where you can grow. So that doesn't come easily, and we're going to put a lot of effort into it just along with you. So this information is targeted at you, the student, and we hope you enjoy seeing us, hearing about us, and you want to hear more. So what is Gateway Community High? Well, it's a new, unique place to learn, and we're in Carlingford. We're opening for the very first time in January 2021. And we are a small independent school that I say is an alternative high school. So it's an alternative to mainstream high, but also we might have some alternative students. It's only for years 9 and 10 in 2021, and only in total 30 students. So we are a proper school. We're registered by the New South Wales Education Standards Authority, NESA, used to be known as the Board of Studies. This is a place where you can complete your stage 5 studies and achieve that very important record of school achievement, the ROSA. We're about your learning, your personal growth, and we want to help you create a sense of belonging and safety, and that needs to be important and mean something to you. A place of safety, a place of belonging will mean something different to everybody. We recognise that. We are taking an alternative approach in our alternative high school because we want to do school differently. It's a place of flexible, engaging, practical learning where students like you can reconnect with their love of learning. Remember the days when you couldn't wait to pick up a new book or try something out or try a new sport, get a new skill, learn how to ride a bike. That's about learning. It doesn't always have to be something that you get out of a book or out of a classroom. But reconnecting with that love of learning is something that's, we think, a pretty magical experience. Now, I've just referred to when you were a kid because you are now a young adult, and we're going to treat you like that, not just a kid. As one of our students, you'll be expected to be the driver of your own educational destiny. So that's a fair bit of responsibility, and it's also, going to hold you accountable. What's really important to us is that you become part of and make part of a community of learners. So this will be your school, and you will help shape its culture and future. The first intake of students in 2021 is going to be the most important thing that helps us create a place where you feel like you can achieve, belong and grow, and that people that come after you will actually feel the same. You will be our best advertisement. Now, we spent a lot of time, myself as the CEO, with a group of incredibly dedicated volunteers, thinking about what is it that drives us to do this? What are our underlying philosophies that really are the foundations for what we're trying to do? And a really important thing is a bit of a complex word called agency. So we believe that young people can take control of and responsibility for their learning. And if you have agency, then you have your voice, your say, and it's under your control. The other thing that's really important is being student-centred. So that is why we will do individualised learning plans and think about your individualised learning and career pathways. And what we offer is support and guidance to achieve those educational, personal and career goals, lifetime goals that you're going to set. We really think being authentic is essential. We think a fresh start is possible, but also being positive and ultimately being very truthful. No, when we say, are you okay? We really want to know, are you okay? Tell us what's going on. Let's see how you feel. Is today a good day or not? It doesn't always have to be, but we can get you there with your help. Community is another really important piece, and we are obviously a part of Macquarie Community College and we are Gateway Community High. So clearly that word means a lot. And community is about connectedness, when you can feel valued, when you can feel safe, and where you feel that you fit and that you belong. I think myself and the Alternative High School Advisory Group, which includes Sue Westbrook, who is now the chair of the board, and Peter Garrard, who was the principal of Epping Boys High, and Vic Branson, who has been heavily involved in establishing schools in the Anglican system. We spent, I think, a day workshopping the 12 words on this page. And we think they're important values. We know they're important values. And one of the challenges and adventures for our new intake next year is to give us some feedback on whether these values mean something to you, whether they make sense to you, and whether what we've thought are the descriptions of what does it mean to have respect and relationships. When and how are we going to walk the talk? We want your input into that after you've started with us. There's another word, agency, values, philosophies, and that word is thriving. And there's a lot of research about children and adolescents and when and where they thrive. And thriving is an outcome of well-being, learning and development. And when you have all of those three things, then you're kind of in the zone, you know, you've got a bit of flow and you're there. We want to be there with you. We want to be at your side when you're getting to a point where you feel that you're thriving. And then you're already thinking about, well, where to next? And if you can be about, look after the present, think about tomorrow, but also head towards the future, we think that's a place where you might start to feel like you're thriving. You might not be feeling that now. You may not be feeling that you're achieving, or even to be able to be you at your current school. And that's why we want to focus on really positive, personalised and inclusive learning, where we can give you some access to tailored support, and you might then feel like you really kind of fit. We fit you, you fit us, and that you're moving forward. Ultimately, we want to be a bit of a self-esteem factory where you get confident, that you become more confident every day, and that you feel welcomed, you feel supported, and you feel respected. Why have we done this? Why have we spent 3 years on this project and investing in it? Why are we so committed to it? Is because we know there's a need. Mainstream is not for everyone. And we're looking for young people like you that we think could be a great fit to take up this really unique opportunity. Look, we all know COVID-19 has made the last year really hard, and it makes the outlook a little bit uncertain. That's made school really hard for almost everybody. And even though we knew there was a need before COVID, we think even more young people have not been engaging in their schooling and might have missed something this year. Well, there's always a chance to make up for that time lost. And we think we can do that by providing different teaching styles to cater to different learning styles. You might like experiential learning projects. You might prefer to work alone or in teams. Maybe you need some additional help with some things around language literacy or numeracy. Maybe you just do better if you've got a little bit of spare time to tune in and catch up. Or you might be someone who just wants to stride ahead, do your projects, investigate, have incredible curiosity. Maybe you actually really also need to think about your health, physical and mental, and your well-being and your level of wellness. And I think in the small class sizes, in a small, unique school, in a supportive learning environment, you get the time and the attention to focus on the present and on the future. As I mentioned, we'll be doing things differently. Small school, small classes, it's all about you, the individual learning plan. We're going to take a very strengths-based supportive approach, and that's a really important set of foundations for your personal well-being and your active health. We'll have extra time. There's room in the curriculum. We've actually added in some extra hours that are free time. And so we think that that's an important place where you can take the space, take the time. Learning styles, practical learning, no homework, no strict uniform, and no huge fees. That's why we'll be a little bit different as a private school. We're going to really focus on the compulsory core subjects for the ROSA. So you've got to be able to complete those subjects. You've got to have the capacity to learn, the capacity to commit, and the capacity to manage the outcomes. So to give you that chance, we've uncluttered the curriculum. We're going to focus on the fundamentals, the key learning areas. If you don't have English and maths as the basics, it's really hard to be able to progress into your other subjects. We also want to take time for physical activity. I'm not suggesting that every day is going to have, organised team sport. Some of you might hate sport, some of you might love sport, but we'll find a time for fresh air, for exercise, to learn some skills. Sport and physical activity is sometimes also about teamwork. Even if you love it, we'll find something that will work. We'll, over time, develop a program, excuse me, of enrichment learning activities of interest to you and your classmates, because we want to find out what interests you. We're going to have 30 people with 30 different interests, but we think there's probably some common things amongst them. And let's find time to enjoy. If you love music, if you love dance, if you love just being outside, if you like TV shows and you want to discuss them, that's fine. Fun, food and friendships are really important. We want you to have fun. A day without fun is a very long day, and we want to have the time and the opportunity where you can chat with each other and make new friends. We also think food's a pretty important thing, and sharing a meal is a way to bring us all together. We've talked about the different teaching and learning styles. We want to focus on the whole person, time and attention, and respectful relationships are really important. So it's about how do you know the difference between a respectful and a not respectful relationship, and where does trust come into that. Your day will be a bit different. We're going to start with something which we call the gathering. I know some of you are there, sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, you've got to be here before 9 o'clock. Yes, please. Because don't panic. You've got about 20 minutes to check in, catch up, grab breakfast if you haven't had it. But most importantly, come through that front door and get yourself into a positive mindset. Whatever's been happening for you the evening before, the day before, today's a new day. Let's start. Let's try and be as positive as possible. In the morning, we're going to focus on the really big fundamentals, maths or English. And this, I know it doesn't sound right, but the morning is the best time to learn really essential things. So while you're fresh, while you're awake, while you've just had breakfast, you can get into it. We'll have a break, and then we'll have what I call the midday mix, which is science, some personal time, and HISI subjects, geography, history, etc. And then we'll go after lunch for the afternoon energy burst, so we don't all have an afternoon slump after lunch. Which will be around engaging topics, activities, and ways to stay active and healthy. And then you get to go home. Look, we know that young people have got plenty of worries, and this won't be any different. we recognise there's some worries that you might have. We get it. Changing schools in year 9 or 10 is pretty brave. And you might be thinking, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to handle all that change at one time. I don't like change. Well, we recognise that change is an issue, but you will have time to adjust, you will have attention, and you will have our support, plus the team around you that's helping you or watch this or came with you to the open day. We've had some young people say they've kind of given up on themselves, and everyone else has too. Well, we haven't. If you think this could be for you and you're willing to make a genuine effort, then so are we. Everyone's a little bit nervous. Everybody's a bit worried about starting anything new where you don't know somebody. But over time, we think you'll become more comfortable at this new school and you'll start believing a little bit more in yourself, that you can make achievements, that you can make it possible. And, you know, that how many people are on Team You that are cheering for you, that want you to make it. And we'll work with the professionals you've been working with, whether that be allied health, psychologists, psychiatrists, nutritionists, exercise people, whatever it is, we'll work with them and your caring family and also your former educators at your other school. Oh, I'm not very good at making friends. I might miss my old friends. Friends is really, really important. We know that. And it is hard to change schools, especially if you're not doing it with a friend. However, when there's 30 students in the school, I figure you've got 29 new opportunities to make one friend at a time. And I think if you make one friend, then that's a starter to make another friend. And, you know, sometimes it's not a bad idea to break with your current group of friends because you can get away from whatever box you or they have put you in, and you can break out perhaps of some habits or behaviours that you're not that fond of and put them behind you, or you can just be you as you are now and be the new you if you want to be. Some of our individuals who are interested in enrolling have expressed that they've been bullied at school and they're a bit worried it might happen again. Look, we think that a school without bullying is entirely possible. And each of you are the ones that's going to make that happen, because if your watchword is kindness and that you're able to learn how to celebrate difference, then we're off to a great start. Obviously, we'll be monitoring bullying carefully, we'll be acting around it, and we'll be learning from those experiences if they happen. You know, people, you're a bit worried about being put in a box if you come to Gateway, or was I bad? Did I get put here? Am I a bit weird? Am I a loser? We don't think any of those things about you. We reckon that you're unique, and every bit of uniqueness makes you a bit wonderful. And young people are the future. So those that love you, it's their opinion that matters, not some random out there who has some chance to call you a name. And we actually think you're lucky if you get a break to come to Gateway, because it's a pretty rare and unusual opportunity, and only 30 young people are going to be able to access it. If you don't want to do the HSC, or you're not even sure you want to go to TAFE or uni, or whatever, you're not sure what you want to do, that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to work that out with you, especially for those that are thinking of coming into year 10. We don't have our own year stage 6 pathway yet. For those who are coming into year 9, we're working on it. But what we will do is work with you about where do you think you're heading and what might be the best way to get there. We're going to tell you that we think staying on track with like-minded people in a learning space, getting educational attainment is one of the best ways to get there. You can predict that, but we don't have a fixed way to do that or a fixed idea of how you should do that yet until we've met you. We're not a special school, and we're not a behavioural school. We're not registered as either of those. What we are registered as is a special assistance school. And that means exactly that. We will give assistance. We will give it to people who need it. And we are a school who is here for you. Special schools and behavioural schools have huge amounts of experience, huge numbers of staff, very deep specialties and very particular cohorts. We think we'll have a fairly diverse cohort, but all of those young people that we take into our first year of enrolment will just need that extra support to either stay on track, get back on track, or streak ahead of the track they'd like to get to. So, you've heard a lot. If you think you might be able to make the most of a fresh start, I just want to say we have 30 places in 2021. And we'll prioritise those places for young people who want to be here. So the number one thing we'll be looking for is that you are motivated, and you're motivated to make a fresh start, and you're okay about doing that in a mainstream, outside of a mainstream environment, in a small school, in a special assistance school. We want to choose the young people that we think can benefit the most and can really benefit from the help we're able to provide, which is about extra support, attention, time to re-engage with your education. You might have missed some language literacy fundamentals. You might be from a diverse cultural background where English is second language. That's actually our specialty at the college, and we look forward to working with you on that. If you're looking for somewhere to fit where you're going to feel like it's safe to be you, and if you're focused on the future, so you're keen to work towards your future, the present and the future, don't mind what that future is. It can be educational studies for stage 6 at high school. It could be vocational pathways. Let's talk about that. That's what we're going to be looking for when we interview you. And if you think that that sounds like the right learning environment for you, well, then you should take the next step. And the next step is to complete an enrolment application, which we will treat with respect, and we will manage your confidential information very carefully. We'll keep you informed about the progress of your application. Once we receive your application, then we will make an interview and you will meet with Roger Ashcroft, our newly appointed principal. Roger will be the decision maker about whether we can offer you a place. And if you do receive an offer, we want you to think really hard about it. And if it still feels right after you've received an offer, then send us your acceptance. And what we then do is we get ready for a new year and a new start, and we'll see you at the end of January next year. Now, I'm really sorry because we do have more applicants than we have places, so we cannot guarantee that you will get a place even though you get an interview, but we will do our best to provide this opportunity to the young people who meet our selection criteria and who will benefit the most from the opportunity. So, if you have further questions, you can contact us. You can do that by calling you, yes, you, the young person, or your caring family. You can email, which I know is not very much in your wheelhouse, but info@gatewaycommunity.high.newsouthwales.edu.au, or check out the website. You can send a question through the website. If you want to just email in your questions, that's the easiest thing, and we'll answer them. We'll keep a FAQ up on the website for you to check, and we hope that you do keep checking the website. It's refreshed almost every day with some new info. So thank you. We really look forward to hearing from you again, and we're sorry we didn't see you at the open day, or if we did, we're really glad you've tuned in again. Thanks a lot. So they were the slides. I hope that it was enough to hold your attention. A few coughs and a few stumbles, and I realise I've been moving around a bit, but that's probably okay. So give us a call, send us an email, check out the website, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot.